What's up, everybody? Okay, I have been going through some intense emotions today. Let me explain to you guys what happened, because as much as I try to be positive and encouraging, and that is the main kind of theme of my YouTube channel, is to encourage you guys and provide you with information on this journey, it is also important that I share the times where I'm freaking out, okay? Because that is definitely happening. And I'm definitely much better now. I've taken some time and I'm in a good environment that I'm supported. I have good friends who I can just be myself and express what's going on in my life and know that they are aware of me and what I need and support me as well, which is good. That really, really helps. It's really, really important, guys. Like, have a good support network. It's huge. The difference between your ability to succeed on e-commerce or dropshipping, if you are around people who believe in you and your ability to figure it out, versus people who judge you and think you're a lunatic for not getting a degree, it has a very big difference on whether you actually end up doing well or not. But I've rambled on long enough. I need to tell you what actually happened. So I just tried to launch, well, I got the enterprise store and then tried to launch the list of items. So we're looking at a list of 190,000 items, and then this list went through an intense filtration process. My friend made a piece of software that goes through and eliminates every single variation from the list, right? So it eliminated like 40% of all of the items, and this is after they've been filtered for Vero problems, every single violation I've ever got in the past, every violation that I can find in forums, all of that, right? Because I know now it's just a numbers game and about scaling properly without getting those problems. So that filtration process, hugely important. But ultimately, I got dinged for something I missed. And what sucks here is that it was one phrase, GK hair. And the thing that really sucks, and the reason I'm really frustrated, is that I had that keyword in the list to prevent it. But the problem is that in the list of URLs that I had, at the time that the URLs were scraped, Walmart did not include that keyword in the title of the item, okay? So when I'm doing the filtration of the URL, I'm looking at an old title. That link still refers to the same Walmart item, but if Walmart updates the title, when you post the item, it's going to get the new title, not the title shown in the link. And because of that, even though I had the keyword in the list, it ultimately still got posted and I got a violation. So now I have a 7-day listing ban, which is not the end of the world. It definitely felt like the world was ending because this interrupts my posting process. And it's really important that I post as soon as my billing date starts. And there's a whole bunch of reasons. You know, it takes... So to post a 150,000 item store, Hydra will post that. It'll post between 15 and 30,000 items per day, depending on how fast and how much, like how the server is currently doing. So that takes multiple days to do, right? Day 1, you have 20,000 items. Day 2, you have 40,000 items. Day 3, you have 60,000. And ultimately, the listing ban only matters if it happens during that first week, that first posting process. And all the other times I did this in the past, when I launched bigger stores, I was able to post the entirety of the store before receiving any kind of listing ban or listing violation, right? So now I have to postpone everything by 7 days. And if this happens again, then I'm going to get a 30-day ban. And then if it happens one more time within this time period, I think it's like a quarterly basis, the timer resets, I think every quarter, but I'm not completely sure how often the timer resets. After that, then your account gets shut down, okay? So that actually isn't, now that I have dealt with this ban, and I've had these things happen 4 times in the past. So it really isn't the end of the world. It's something that I've experienced before. But because this time it happened to me while I was posting my items, it means that I'm at like, it just really screws up my cash flow a lot. And I'm talking to you guys about this just because, like, you guys are going to have something similar happen to you at some point. Regardless of whatever strategy you use, we should probably talk about the stability of a dropshipping business in its very nature, okay? It is possible to find some level of income, huge levels of income in some situations, on a regular basis from dropshipping for a period of time. But ultimately, dropshipping in its nature is not something that you should count on. It's not like if you have like a traditional brick and mortar business or your own website that's selling something. As a dropshipper, you are at eBay and PayPal's mercy. If they do anything to one of your accounts, that can literally, just like that, everything stops. It's important to be aware of that, and you're gonna get scared. Things are gonna happen, and you're gonna get terrified. And ultimately, that doesn't mean that dropshipping can't change your life. What it means is that dropshipping is much more likely to be something in your life that acts as a stepping stone towards something greater, right? It can give you the cash flow during a period of your life that allows you to establish the necessary system for long-term self-employment, right? That's what you're gonna find if you stay in dropshipping more and more, is that as the longer you stay in the dropshipping game, the more you learn about other ways to make money that actually make a lot more sense than dropshipping because of that risk factor, right? And this is true regardless of kind of, if you're using dropshipping on eBay or on Amazon, right? So eBay is more accepting of dropshipping, but I don't really think that they're going to become more accepting of dropshipping. If anything, they're probably going to become more like Amazon. And let's just say that if eBay were to make a decision that did actually ban dropshipping, right, where they would, if they found out you were doing it, there would be repercussions, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be really unhappy, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised. And this doesn't mean that, you know, dropshipping doesn't work. Obviously, like, you can make tons of money dropshipping on Amazon. Dropshipping on Amazon is against Amazon's terms of service, you know? Just because something is against terms of service doesn't mean that it doesn't happen or that people stop doing it or that it stops being profitable necessarily, right? It just means that the game changes, and the people who are able to adapt quickly are the ones who come out on top, right? And it's definitely an interesting point in dropshipping, especially as an eBay dropshipper right now, because there is a lot of uncertainty. And it's hard. Nobody, like, you can listen to videos about, like, well-known dropshipping channels talking about stuff, and everybody will have their opinion, but ultimately, none of us really know what is going to happen and what the long-term repercussions of this buy box stuff is going to be. And the transitions in eBay, right? And my advice to you, again, is that you have to remember dropshipping in its nature is very sporadic. It's not something that, like, just because you've been able to, you have a system that's been working, whether it's been working for a month or a year or even 2 or 3 years, don't take that as any kind of certainty that things are going to continue. It's really, really, really important that you understand that, because otherwise, inevitably, you're going to get to a point, no matter what strategy you use on dropshipping, where you're like, holy shit, and it feels like your life is falling apart, and it feels like everything's over, and it's all ended. And the reality is, like, if you want to be self-employed, that's something that you have to kind of live with and learn to handle. And that's, like, kind of really what the big trade-off is to like, take me, for example. I'm able to spend my day doing whatever I see fit. So even if I have a lot of stuff to do, in my head, I have free time because I'm choosing to do everything, right? But I'm trading the uncertainty factor, right? I'm able to deal with the fact that I don't actually know what's going to happen with my life. I don't actually know for certain if what I'm doing now will work in 2 or 3 months. I don't actually know. So I work around that by figuring out as many new different ways to establish income as possible and working on multiple things at once and growing them that way, right? So you have a pool of multiple incomes. And for me, it's not about earning money for that reason, because what it's really about is earning the free time necessary to create all of these different streams of income so that ultimately, no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. That's why I value free time so much, because for me, free time is worth way, way, way more than money, because free time now means money later, right? But I am doing this video to show you, like, as you notice, I'm not as articulated right now. And as I'm talking about these things, I lose track a little bit because I'm in an emotional state. Like, it's so crazy to know that it's possible that I might lose my eBay account by trying to make this work. But the act of doing that, like, I could be cautious and I could put it aside, but the act of doing this, the act of taking that risk is what's going to tell me for sure exactly how it works, right? And at this point, I thought a lot today. I was like, all right, say that I do lose my eBay account. Like, say that, okay, this ban really isn't a huge problem because it's only 7 days. And again, I've had this happen 4 times in the past. So I've been able to post 120,000 item store. That's the biggest store that I've ever posted, right? I've been able to get that posted and maintain it without getting my account taken down. And this is before all of the filtration process. So I absolutely know it's possible. It is possible that I just got really lucky and I didn't get the violations that I got this time, right? But the reality is, if I was able to run at 120,000 items without having an intense filtration process to get rid of Vero problems, it's definitely doable. It is absolutely definitely doable. You just need to have that really, really solid filtration process. So as you scale up, you don't get too many Vero problems to get your account in trouble, right? But I had to think about it. I was like, okay, so say that I do lose my eBay account. What does that mean? Does that mean I lose everything? Because obviously right away I'm like, my life is over! Everything that I've been working for is pointless, and like, that's just how it feels. But the more I think about it, it's like, okay, so yeah, I have a big eBay account, which is valuable, but at the same time, it's not the eBay account itself that's valuable. One, it's the existence of the YouTube channel combined with the eBay account, which has high limits, combined with the PayPal account, which has an established history, and combined with my ordering accounts with Walmart that enable me to actually process the orders that you get from posting a whole bunch of items. Because that's another limitation. You can't just, if you don't have any history ordering things from Walmart, you can't just suddenly be like, okay, I now have 150,000 Walmart items for sale and I'm placing 40, 50 orders a day. Like, Walmart's not gonna necessarily, they're not gonna respond super well to that. You have to build it over time, like get to a point where you are regularly ordering items. And at first maybe it was 10 a day, but then it was 20, 30 a day, and that's a normal thing for your account, right? So even if I were to lose my eBay account, the reality is that all of the other systems that are necessary to do what I need to do with an enterprise store still exist. And there's options, right? There's stealth accounts. There's having agreements with people where post items to their account to you know, that kind of thing. And also there's other people that I'm in touch with, like my roommate who helped do the Vero checker and who made the variation checker, sorry. His account is big enough to do this as well. And in the past, he's been doing like kind of a mirror of what I've been doing, except he's not been able to pay as much attention to it as I have, and so his account has been more behind. Like, I apply more recent strategies to mine because I have more time, and it's like YouTube and dropshipping and all this is my full-time job, whereas he has a full-time programming job, so it's a different situation, right? But my point is that you are going to go through something like this. You are going to experience something, and it's going to make you want to give up. It's going to make you doubt everything that you've done. And you are going to think that it's all over, and you're going to get fucking scared. And when you're in that state, you're liable to make decisions that result in you stopping whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, right? And you know, for some people, maybe that's good. Like, you know, if you have a family that you got to support and you're going out and you're gambling money and losing it and not finding results, maybe it's a good thing you stop gambling that money, right? It really depends on the life situation. Like, I can't give out, like, there's some situations where it would be good to stop. You know, it's not just always good to try and change your life and spend money in ways that may teach you things, but you're losing money, right? That's not always a wise decision. For certain kinds of personalities, like for me, that usually is the decision that leads to more money in the future. But for some people, that could be bad. So I'm not gonna give you guys like blanket advice that like, oh, you should do this if you experience this. All I can do is show you what I'm going through. And ultimately, that's the whole purpose of this YouTube channel, is that like, I do videos about my experience trying to use this information to change your life. And it's possible, like with this dropshipping, the enterprise thing, there is no part of me that doubts that you can earn a lot of money running an enterprise store as long as you scale it smoothly, and as long as like dropshipping remains doable. Like eBay's just not gonna insta-ban you for dropshipping, right? As long as those things are all true, then it's not a matter of like if it's possible, it's a matter of like, I know how to do it now. It's just, frick, like, in order to really know, like, you kind of have to clean lists of items by posting them to an account and then seeing, like, what you would almost need to do this really well is actually have 2 or 3 accounts and have one that you can just post items to just to clean your list, right? To get rid of the problematic items and the Vero items and to really develop that database. Because you can't prevent every problem, but you could develop a list that was big enough to prevent like the vast majority of them, right? And then just learn to run that efficiently and produce like regularity and income while dropshipping is still a feasible thing. But you need like multiple accounts to do that properly. There's always options, and that's the thing that I want to end off with this video, is that your ability to change your life, your ability to see the right decision for you as an individual correlates directly to your ability to handle these emotional states, because you need to be able to take a step back to distract yourself with other things in life. If you hold on to these thoughts all day, you will go insane. You will make decisions that are reckless, and ultimately something is going to screw you over. You have to maintain a balance and have other things going on. And again, this is another reason that I believe that people who dropship will often find more success when they have other things providing their income, because it takes away that like, oh God, if this doesn't work, I'm fucked part. Like for me, that's true because I have the income from the course and from the YouTube channel and from like, there's various other ways to earn money now, right? That now I have an established presence. So things could set me back, but ultimately I'm always going to be able to make money working from home. It's just a matter of like how exactly it's gonna be done, right? But that's because I've focused on the YouTube channel and I focused from these other things. And that has allowed me to be more objective with my decisions when I'm dropshipping, because I don't have as much at stake. So I'm able to take bigger risks without being as affected by the emotions. And this is just food for thought for you guys, right? Because this is something I'm going through right now. This is not a perfectly articulated video, but if you are in e-commerce and if you're dropshipping or honestly doing almost any self-employed work, this is a feeling you are gonna have to deal with. If you haven't experienced it yet, then you will experience it at some point. And I'm hoping that by helping you understand what you're probably going to go through, then it'll be a little bit simpler when you do inevitably actually go through it, right? All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, effort, and attention, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao.